The following unofficial rebroadcast of TWiT Live is brought to you by Odd TV and CacheFly. CacheFly's global network delivers your content, ensuring your website, streaming media, and downloads exceed expectations at cachefly.com.
It's going to be used for streaming video. So it's kind of a waste, but this is going to be the one chance that we're going to get to boot it up and try it. I was a little worried. You can see the crumpled corner here. Fortunately, I don't. I know it hit the styrofoam, and I hope this thing is robust enough that a few G's aren't going to put it out of business. I do have to say that that's the kind of thing that happens in transit that shakes cards loose. So we're going to probably want to look at the inside of this. Let me just strip this off. You don't want to know how much this cost. It's almost $5,000. The hardware in here is a 2.66 gigahertz dual i7s. Kind of it's not clear what processor. It says on the front of it here 64-bit Xeon workstation. 6 gigs of RAM. It's got one SATA 2 drive. We got the minimum configuration. I think it's 350 gigs. And a GeForce card. I like those GeForce cards. I'm teasing you. GT120, which is essentially a $50 part in a $5,000 machine, as Brian Clodfelter said. So there's the other side. Let's see what it says on the label here. Now, fortunately, we have in studio with us a guy who used to be a Apple genius. So he's going to help me if I run into problems here. So let's start unboxing. If you showed the thing here, it's kind of hard for you to see because it's such a tall box. But first, we're going to take the keyboard out. Can you go to the? Yeah, there you go. Thank you. So this is the. Actually, I really like it. Oh, and this is not the compact one. They're still shipping it with the. I guess if you spend $5,000 on a computer. Oh, did I have my choice? I didn't notice that. Should have chosen the compact one, but because we don't. I mean, who uses a number pad? We're not accountants here. And then Apple's still shipping this less than mighty mouse, which we'll immediately replace with a Microsoft mouse. Actually, why am I even taking this out of the box? Throw it to me. This is what we're going to use. Yes, a Microsoft mouse. It's heresy. It's the first thing I tell everybody who's using a Macintosh, especially if you're switching from Windows, to get is a standard 3-button scroll wheel mouse like this one from Microsoft. It uses it right out of the box, by the way. You can come on in. Switch to the full screen briefly so that our Apple visitors are invisible. Also, as usual, we get the discs that come with these, which includes the Mac Pro application install DVD, and there's only 2 discs, the Mac OS X install DVD. That's sufficient to get all the software on there. Well, I do save that DVD because one thing I do install that doesn't come on it normally is the Xcode application programming environment, so I usually install that from the disk. You can come in. All right. He's hiding. We're going to put this back here. I don't need that. We've already opened the box. Dane, just in the nick of time with the with the box cutter. So let's see here. There's a USB extender just in case we can't reach the keyboard from the lofty position, and this is a power cord. I didn't think. I guess there's power back here. I don't need it. There's nothing more to open. Yeah, there's nothing more to open. We're in. Surgery has already begun. It's a little late to hand me a scalpel. But you know what you could do, Jeff? Just plug that in. There's a power box right back there. So I'm gonna get Jeff to. Jeff works for Disney, so he knows how to plug in things. He's in charge of new technology for the Disney resorts. We've got somebody really qualified doing this part. Can you see it plugged down there? All right. That's good. Thank you. And do you want your knife back? Oh. Okay. Now let's see what's. Oh, now we get to get the good part. All right. For this, I'm gonna have to take the box down. I really like how Apple makes these cases because they actually have handles on the tops of them, so I can actually lift the Pro right out of the box. I use my feet to stabilize the box so I can. Man, that's heavy. All right, got everything we need. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. A computer worth $5,000. I don't know about that. I'm still a little skeptical. It is heavy. Man, these things are heavy. So I'll rotate it for you so you can see. You already see the Apple logo. Here's the back panel. One of the things I stupidly was worried about is that I would have to get, see, it's got the mini display port, and I just wasn't thinking. It also has DVI, so I didn't need the adapter. But I'll use that for my laptop, which does not have DVI, and I can use that upstairs with the 30-inch or the 24. No, it's dual link. So I need exactly what I have right there for my laptop, which is a dual link adapter. 3 USB ports here. 1, 2, 3. These are FireWire 800 ports. Optical out, SPDIF, and I presume that's in. Also analog in and out there. It's got 2 NICs. That will come in handy. I did not know it had 2 NICs. That's actually going to be something that we can really use. So that's the back. When it's time to open it, I'll flip this latch. The latching system is very cool. Here's the front. 2 FireWire 800s, 2 USBs, a headphone jack, and an on-off switch. We only got 1 optical drive, a standard DVD player, so one of these is just going to be empty. All right, let's. You know what? How's this camera? I put a light on this. I think let's try that camera 3 for the side shot. Yeah, I think this is going to be the best way to take a look at the side. I put a light on there. This focus might be a little bit soft. We'll work on that. So let's take a look at the inside. This is where Apple really excels. Is that enough? Is there another latch on here? Mystery visitor from the east? I think focus is what we need on that. A little more, crisper. There you go. All right, so let's open this. This is really great. I mean, they make this very easy. Single latch, just pops right off. And there are some new features on this new Mac Pro. This stuff is all in drawers. This looks like the old Mac Pro. These are the hard drive bays, I presume, and there's only one occupied right now. Motherboard is underneath here. You can kind of see it if I tilt it back. This is interesting, though. This is new. Am I doing this right? Look at this. That is kind of cool. So this is a daughter board, and you see the 6 sticks of RAM. It's got 6 sticks of 1 gig RAM. These Nehalims, you want to add RAM in 3s. Remember the old one, you added RAM in 2s. So Apple, for some reason, sells a BTO. The stock is 6, which is 6 1 gig sticks. They sell a BTO of 8, which makes no sense because you're not adding in 3s. You really shouldn't get the 8. You should go up to a 9, which they don't offer. But you could put I guess there's no 3 gig sticks, so you can't do a 9, can you? So you have to go right to 12. So if you're not going to add or use the stock 6, you probably should just get 6 2 gig sticks and put 12 in. But you could, and then you go for, yeah. But you always want to add in 3s if you can. Now these big mothers are the heat sinks, right? These are the heat sinks for the CPUs. Holy camole! Right. So there's a fan here and a fan here, and it draws the air right through, front to back, which is a very good design, right across the heatsink, and also across the RAM. So the RAM and the CPUs are on a daughter board that just mounts, and I don't know if you could see it. There's a hairy old connector.
It's very
That's like a 1,000,000-pin connector.
BTX motherboard design.
BTX does the same thing with the daughter board?
No, not with the daughter board, but with the way that it's got the crossflow and the heat sinks don't have the fan.
Oh yeah. The airflow is really
exactly.
good. And these have posts. You can't really see them. They're sharp metal posts. So you really couldn't, and they need that because you can see these pins. It'd be very easy to bend them. So the posts guide it in before you get to the pins. Presumably we won't bend anything when we go back in. Once you get the CPU and the RAM off the motherboard, and of course remember the memory controller is on the CPU, so there's not a North bridge on these new i7s. So you can see the motherboard is pretty sparse. There's not a lot to it. There's 3 PCI slots here. There's one small Intel chip there. Yeah, we don't have any light in here, but trust me, it's a very simple, sparse motherboard. In terms of cooling here, I guess I can. I love this latching system. I guess I could pull out a drive here. So the eSATA drive, or the SATA drives, I should say, just because the SATA connector is so simple, they just slide in. It's very easy to add a drive. We've only got one bay populated, but you see there's 4 bays, so we could easily just mount the drive onto these screws, and you slide it into the drawer. And when you slide it in, oh boy, I'm going to regret doing that, aren't I? When you slide it in, it docks right on the SATA connector, so it really is. It couldn't be a simpler, easier way to do it. And then when you latch this down, it locks these in, so they're solid as soon as you latch the cover back on. So we only got one. I think it's a 320. It's a Western Digital Caviar, and the reason is, first of all, we don't need a lot of storage, but also you've got these 3 more bays that are very easy to add drives. We buy terabyte drives, by the gross here, so it's a snap to if we need more storage to put it in. So this is now sitting in the drawer. You can't really put it in wrong. It slides in, and it docks just that easy into the SATA. I guess that's pretty much it as far as what you're going to be able to see. Let me see how hard this is to get back in. Oh boy. I'm going to be sorry I pulled this sucker out, aren't I? Guides again for the edges. So it's pretty hard to put it in wrong. But it makes me nervous, all those pins. Oops, got to make sure this is out. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's it. Boom. And the latches snap back in, and that's it. You're locked in. Boy, that's a nice case. It's a good case design, I have to say. I've always liked the way the Mac Pro case designs have been. Very pretty. All right, so now we'll put the close it up and we'll boot it up. Are you ready to boot? Boot Nick?
Boot and nuke from Derek.
Boot and nuke? D-ban? All right. Just latch that down, and you see when you latch that, everything's locked in nice and solid in place. Air cooled. It's not water cooled. I've got the power here. I'm going to connect up the power to the back. Now we've pulled the DVI connector off of our TV here. Let's see if this works. The TV's set to pick up the PC. So.
What's our motto here at the cottage?
If it doesn't work, get the fire extinguisher.
What could possibly?
Possibly go wrong? Nothing. The connector, the mini DisplayPort connector I got, actually is kind of cool. It has a USB connector on it as well. That's for driving the 30-inch display. Or you can use a dual-link cable to drive the 30-inch display. It does not come with a dual-link cable, so I did need to buy something, so we bought the DisplayPort, and that'll come in handy for a variety of other things. So I'm not unhappy that I bought that after all. Mouse. Let's open up the keyboard. And we're going to be ready to boot. You feel good? I don't see any evidence of ill effects from its fall off the truck.
What about on the styrofoam?
Oh yeah, let's see what the styrofoam looks like. Not even here.
A chunk out of it.
Is there a chunk out of it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it took it pretty well. So, I mean, clearly there would be no physical damage to the machine, but there might have been some G-forces applied. But those cards look like they were in pretty well. I didn't check the RAM. I should probably have pressed the RAM in. Okay, Colleen, you want to do the... you're busy, huh? You're switching?
I'm good.
All right. Jeff, come here. You're going to have to push this button for me because I'm not allowed to push buttons anymore.
Macs don't like me. I've got a Mac.
All right, Jeff's going to do the honors. I don't hear anything. It's very quiet. Let's see. The main trick is if this screen's going to pick it up, which it may not. It may be too high a resolution.
It works at full res when I plug it into a MacBook Pro.
Okay. This screen? You plugged it into your MacBook Pro?
Yeah.
Cool.
I tested all of it, man.
Posts.
That took a second.
So that was a long post. Is it normal to take that long? Is it because it has so much RAM? Oh, the first time. First time it's being born. Oh, look! I see a little apple. I see a little apple on the screen silhouette. Mac Pro, can you do the fandango? Oh, man. This is why we never ate soup on the screensavers. Is it out of focus?
No, that was going to zoom it in because I was noticing it.
I'll really, right now we're looking at the boot, so. Okay. This is where you choose the language. Pretty soon you're going to hear that music, that fun music. Oh, wait a minute. Do you hear that on a Mac Pro? Go back to the other shot, Colleen. You got more of the screen. Yeah, there you go. There we go. You know, it's funny when you do a Hackintosh, you get this also.
So you know how you said we wanted to get a bill from Night in Jail?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want a bill. He wants me to build him a MSI Win Hackintosh.
Deal. That's a deal. Not the Hackintosh part. He'll have to break the license agreement on his own, but
Well,
we'll send him the wind.
We'll get him an MSI Wind and toss in some RAM and send it out.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's great. Can you hear that? I don't know if they can hear the. I really shouldn't put soup on top of my new $9,000 Mac
What
Pro.
could possibly go
What
wrong?
could go wrong? It's chicken noodle. It's good for everyone. So this is where you say what country you're from. Keyboard layout. We are not going to transfer. This is actually, to me, you guys really can't read this, can you? That's too bad. You know what? We can dim this down a little bit.
Just dim that camera and zoom in on the screen.
Oh, this lens doesn't have a filter on it, neutral density filter, but this one does. So let me put this camera on the screen. Whoa, there goes the soup. Close, but I've gotten very good at avoiding soup calamities.
Oh, it didn't go over?
Colleen thought I did it.
Yeah, I thought you did. On top of the TriCaster.
On top of the TriCaster.
All covered with ministry.
I'll cover with chicken noodle. Okay. That's great. Of course, I can't get back to do anything.
He's...
We need a bigger studio. Okay. Don't worry about that. You might need to... can you give me that shot so I can see what we're seeing? There we go. I'll move this out of the way a little bit. There we go. Do you already own a Mac? Yes, I do, but in this case, I'm not going to transfer the information over. This is a really nice feature. Could you focus that just a little bit? It's probably not going to come in full focus.
So what does this feature do, Leo?
This is great because it transfers, if you have an existing Mac, and I've used it, I use it every time now when I buy a new Mac. It just transfers all the old data and program stuff over. How do you connect? You know, I don't know if we put do we get Wi-Fi on this thing or not? I don't remember.
Would you like...
I didn't order Wi-Fi. Do you have an Ethernet cable lying around? We got cables everywhere. Is there a spare one, or do we have to disconnect something? Yeah, I don't think it comes with Wi-Fi. Yeah, you have to order that, and I didn't want it. Thanks. We got plenty of Ethernet here.
Well, that one used to be in the prototype Skype box that was over there.
Didn't need it. All right, so I'm going to connect the Ethernet. How do you connect? LAN, baby.
It's a net that's just in the ether. It's just out there.
All right, and then I can tell it who I am. I have a... ooh, why don't you hide that screen? Where will you... Too late. Why don't you... let's see. What is this? This is a small business. Business. You know, they never really have what we do. I always pick video, film, but they never have, like, media or broadcasting.
Don't they know who you are?
They should just have a box that says, well, Leo, right?
With how many Macs you buy.
Now, they don't create an admin account. They create a regular account for you. So I have a standard password I use, and this makes it easy for me to remember on all my
changed the camera this
machines.
time.
Fortunately, I didn't type it in the clear, so we're all right. And now Apple's going to say, let's see if this guy really owns this computer. I already have a .Mac or mobile me member name. Thank you.
Stop yelling at me.com.
No, I'm afraid it's not that interesting.
I think the Mac community would like to thank you for ordering your new Intel.
Yeah, you know, if
Pro.
I hadn't ordered this, they wouldn't have created a
They
new
never
Mac
would've
Pro.
made-
They were
never
just
would've
waiting.
released
They've
it.
had this in the warehouse for years.
It's the Leo effect.
All right. Well, I think it's running. Let's just make sure. We should have some benchmarks we could run on the thing.
You know, we could run Oh, no, we can't. We can install Windows and run it. But that's all GPU based. And it's got a $50 GPU.
2 times 2.66 gigahertz quad core Intel Xeon. You really can't. Why is that so soft?
Someone says Xbench.
Should I download it and run it?
Chat room, what do you think of Xbench? What's the Apple benchmark of choice?
Xbench, isn't it?
Well, I'm just seeing what they're saying. Yeah,
Xbench.
yeah.
The guy who's not from Apple here says it's Xbench.
You know where he's actually from? SciStar.
Yeah, the guy from the SciStar guy says it's Xbench. All right. I guess you should run software update first. That's the first thing you should run.
The patch auto runs.
Wow.
See, people are going to learn, Leo, that they can't come here with secrets.
No, they can't. They know that already.
So it's a good thing he didn't even actually tell you the real company.
I don't know who he works for. I don't care. And no one else knows. It's a great mystery. All right, this was a little too easy. This is one of the problems with a Macintosh, is you just plug it in and there you go.
There's no drama.
Wasn't a whole lot of drama, was there?
Are you sure you don't want to install Service Pack 3, Leo?
I do have to install quite a few things, and there's some things that I do right away. For instance, I really don't, and they're going to change this in Snow Leopard, which, by the way, the rumors are will be out in just a few months.
Snow Leopard is making me very interested in apples.
So I always like to display this as a folder. I bought this most recently used icon, just drives me crazy. And I also like to have it as a list and not a fan, because a fan is kind of weird.
We might actually want to go to Snow Leopard and put in some powerful GPUs because there's a chance that stuff we'll be running will be able to run OpenCL.
Yeah, we certainly. Oh, we'll go to Snow Leopard the minute it's available, presuming that the application we're running on this works okay. So you get a Documents folder and a Downloads folder. I also do a few other customizations. It really bugs me they call this Apple's Mac Pro. Let's fix that right away.
Leo, even
Yes?
if you pay for it, they're only loaning it to you.
They should put my name in it,
It's
at least.
always Apple's Mac Pro.
Why don't they populate it with my name? So we're going to call this, and let's move that up.
Yeah, it's just a license. You just get to use it.
Yes, you're probably right. How do I
Steve
reorder
Jobs still
these?
secret
It's
his
not
hands.
through that. It's here. Set service order. So we want to do Ethernet 1, Ethernet 2. We never want to do Bluetooth networking.
We're going to just have it auto-join open Wi-Fi networks. That'll be great. Nobody will come in here with a Wi-Fi pineapple. What are you talking about?
Apply that. That wasn't actually what I went in to do. I meant to change the name. Oh, it says Leo Laporte's Mac Pro, but let's call it Streamer. Or let's call it Streamer Screamer.
Why don't we call it Mac Prawn? P-R-O-N.
And we're going to turn on screen sharing because that's how we'll be accessing it. Let's turn the never sleep feature on. Display sleep I don't really care about since there's no display. Never put the hard drive to sleep. Do not allow the power button to sleep the computer. Restart automatically. This is going to be a headless computer. It's going to work all the time, so we really want it to be doing that. Don't you like how they did a compact fluorescent for the icon for the energy saver, and I fixed that recently.
You know, they really should use an LED bulb if they want to be with it.
So file sharing we're going to turn on.
Compact
we're going to
fluorescents
turn
have
on...
mercury, Leo.
Huh?
Compact fluorescents have mercury. They're the green computer company.
I know, they
They're
should be LEDs now. Well, I think next generation. Maybe Snow Leopard will be LEDs. Okay, I can log on. Printer sharing, no. Web sharing, no. Remote login. That's for SSH. I think I'll turn that on, and we're going to add it for only these users. Me. Remote management. Remote Apple events. Xgrid sharing. We may at some point want to turn that on. Internet sharing off. Bluetooth sharing. So we've got all those settings good. All right. Mobile Me, I think, is working. No, maybe it didn't like my name.
You mean Mobile Me is not working?
I've had a lot of problems with Mobile Me and my password, so... Okay, it is seeing it now. And we're going to keep it synchronized because... I like those things to synchronize. We will not use an iDisk. Actually, probably should use an iDisk on here, but I won't use the iDisk sync.
What's iDisk?
iDisk is a storage in the sky and very handy. So we will
it's like
sync
SkyDrive.
bookmarks. It's like SkyDrive, but they had it longer. We'll sync calendars. It will sync contacts.
I like how I had to include that part.
We'll sync keychains. We won't be doing mail. Okay, that's good. All right, I think I'm done here. I'm going to turn on parental controls so Colleen can't play with this. And then
It's not even going to let me log in then.
and then we've apply our upgrades. I think we're done. That was that was pretty quick and easy, huh? That was pretty painless. Oh, you know, I could download the dashboard software. We could go on get our software on there.
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to do it?
Absolutely. And can you do me a favor and hide the dock?
Why, you don't like the dock?
The dock is my biggest pet peeve on Earth. It's like chewing on tinfoil. Jumping up and down like a Jack Russell
Really?
Terrier.
You don't like the dock? Well, I do hide the dock on all my machines, so I probably shouldn't eat soup when I have one of these Countrymen on, should I?
It sounds kind of sexy.
It's a little slurpy.
I get to hear your gums flapping around and crackling and...
Sorry about that. You know what? I have to say, it's pretty fast. It's doing this update pretty quick.
I bet you'd do it even quicker if we had, like, RAID 0 Velociraptors or something.
Yeah, I mean, the hard drives are, I'm sure, the bottleneck at this point. But that's it. It's done installing the updates. That was very quick. Yeah, our Ultimate Game Machine has dual Velociraptors in RAID 0.
We should do some little competitions.
Some speed
Yeah,
speed tests.
find a fair fight, something that neither was designed for. Because gaming's not fair. And,
No.
And coding's not fair.
No. Oh, I know. What's that Microsoft music program? Tunesmith?
Songsmith.
Songsmith. We should have a Songsmith battle.
I'm singing about my something. No, we should do... No. We should have a Vista install battle.
I don't think you can fairly say this was made to install Vista either.
Yeah, I love how when you do... I just installed Vista on the MacBook Pro I've been using for the feeds. And I find that whenever it does boot camp and it starts up, it throws out errors the whole time, and then it works. It says, you need to rebuild this with Fdisk, even though it works.
Now we see all... It's good. We see all of our stuff. I wish this didn't say Apple's Mac Pro. Is that me? No, it's not me. Oh, you know where... You know what that is, probably? I think I'm seeing a machine up in Vancouver. That's what I think I'm seeing.
I think you should see what they've been up to in your absence.
Yeah, really. So I'm going to connect to... actually, I should connect as me. Because then I can get the TWiT desktop on here. Right?
How about standing on the other side
Okay.
so we can see your...
No, but you won't be able to see the screen if you do that. Look, I can see all the Skype boxes. Where would be the best place to get the? I wonder if the ShowNAS has our desktop, our default desktop.
Pull it off the wiki.
Is it on the wiki?
Yeah, that's where you said it was. It's also on our main page and such. Someone just put it in the chat room. Throw that into a tiny URL for me, please, so I can actually read it to him.
Where it is on the wiki? Well, it's all here.
No, they put a direct link to it in the Dropbox, but...
Yeah, but the Dropbox is not visible unless you have Dropbox installed, which I'm absolutely not going to do on this machine.
I think what we should do is put the surplus in a Dropbox. Come on, Al Gore. He's on the board of Apple.
So I just wanted to put an alias for my pictures folder there because I'm going to copy my desktop pictures from
is.gd/MWX1.
What? Why? And why would I do that?
Or tinyurl.com/TWiTMacPro.
Or it's already on the machine.
Oh.
Or
Never gonna give you up.
never gonna let you down. Are you Rick-rolling me?
No, someone in the chat room was like, don't click on it, it could be a Rickroll.
It's a Rick-roll. There it is.
I think we should test to see if Flash comes pre-installed or not by going to YouTube and looking for Rick Astley.
That's a good idea. Do you think it's Safari 4 or Safari 3? Oh, it's 3. That's too bad.
Never gonna run around and desert you.
What is tick roll? I don't know why I typed that.
It could be the Tick singing the Rickroll song.
And it's working. This is how you test to see if it's working. It is working. All right, I think we're 17 million views on that. Most of them against people's will. I always take this dashboard out of there. I'm not going to use email on here. I'm not going to use iChat on here. I'm not going to use Preview. I'm not going to use iPhoto. I'm not going to use iMovie. I'm not going to use GarageBand. I'm not going to use Spaces. I'm not going to use Time Machine.
You're not going to use the calendar.
I'm not going to use iTunes. I might use the calendar. Well, truthfully, we're not going to use anything. That's what's really sad.
No, that's what's really awesome.
All right, now I need you to read me. Actually, I need to look at it on my email. The info for the software. So if you will search for BitGravity. And you know, make it one word. Make it here. I'll do it. I don't need the keyboard. I just want to make this. If you'll press backspace, that'd be great. That's all I need you to do. And see if they gave me somewhere. They gave me a login. There it is. Okay. So. Okay. I'm gonna have to come over and read that. But excuse me, sorry, Jeff.
Blow it up a bit?
I just need. Yeah, there you go. Stop. Okay. Yeah, because I can install this right. I mean, install it right from there. Well, you know what we don't have though?
What don't we have, Liam?
Any video going into it.
Yet. Do you need a FireWire video source?
Yeah.
Let's just plug a FireWire into one of the XL2s and go for it.
Oh yeah, we could do that. That's true. We could do that. Okay.
Leo, you know I sit on a ball at home now.
Do you?
Mhm.
So this is where you can see your statistics, your media, your reports, network settings. This is great. This is awesome. 720 by 480 they've got it set for. It's 480p. So I guess what we need to do is hook some video up to this sucker. I need to download software, don't I? Does it say on there where to... Do I do it by a FTP?
Does Safari have an FTP client built in, like Internet Explorer? No.
But you could do it from the command line.
Oh, that's cool.
We have created a test account installation. Can you zoom, hold the control key down for me? I just need to figure out where I download the software from. Okay. Quick start guide and okay, good. All right. Might as well install it. Adds metadata. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. So here's the live broadcast. Oh, he's already populated all this. If you'll hide that screen for a second. Cool. Well, I think we're done. We're going to have to get a video input, and then we can do some testing on it, and we'll tell people what the URL is for the testing. But that's pretty cool. It's running. You know what? It's really quiet. I don't hear a thing.
Because they're big, slow RPM fans.
Yeah. No, it's really quiet. We haven't taxed it, but can you even feel very, very rare, very barely air moving through this? Because there's nothing. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting here. It's much quieter than my G5 dual G5s was. Boy, is that thing sounded like it was really loud. That's pretty cool. Ooh, so pretty aluminum. I'll tell you, you don't feel bad about spending a lot of money for something like this because it's a work of art. I mean, it's a beautiful.
I'm glad you're so easily fooled.
It's a gorgeous work of art.
So is the dual G5 upstairs, but we don't care about it.
We don't care about it anymore. That's true.
It looks the exact same as the dual G5.
I know, isn't that funny? If it, the Intel Mac Pro we'll probably use for a lot longer because it's Intel. Right. The problem with the G5 is merely that it's a G5. All right, we're going to restart, and we will. Now, one problem with the BitGravity software is it modifies some system, some stuff in the library and stuff. You really can't use this for anything now.
You know what? That's totally awesome.
It actually modifies the operating system. Does some kernel stuff.
So I was asking in the chat room, seeing if you would ask the BitGravity guy. I wonder why they use Macs rather than standard PC hardware and and a custom Linux distro or something, or BSD or. Probably
because Ed knew how to program on Macs.
Okay.
I would guess, but I don't know.
Seems like commodity hardware.
You're right. I mean, I think for something like that, commodity hardware does make sense. You're right.
Because, I mean, if it's...
We could have gotten the same kind of well, if you could get this particular chip now, but once these chips come out, we could get this particular performance for not...
I could have built you that for half the price with
exactly,
hardware.
Exactly.
Or with commodity hardware. But this one's so pretty.
'Tis. I really wonder whose Mac Pro this is.
It's Leo's.
Apple's Mac
it's
Pro.
Apple's. It's always Apple's, Leo.
Huh. 33108. It's not ours. I'm thinking it's a loaner, probably in Vancouver or maybe even Toronto. That's the funny thing about this. I mean, this goes over the internet. They just shared it for reasons I don't fully understand. And so you can see it, and you can actually use back to my Mac to run it. There's our G5. Connection failed. It's probably not on. It's probably not got sharing turned on. There's UGM. Anyway, I was going to run this application. I don't know where it went.
My laptops are shared, but you probably don't want to go in there.
No, I don't think I think I'd prefer not to. Wonder where it put this, what it just installed. Wonder where it went. Not in here. It's funny, I mean, when you have this much power, you don't really notice it. I mean, we've got the point where we're way beyond what the OS needs. You're really only going to notice it if you're working the heck out of it. I don't know where it installed the software. Oh, there's the download. Where did it put it? It's not on the desktop. It's not in my apps.
How big is the hard drive in that again? 360?
I don't remember. Let me look. No, actually, it's big. It's 640. Yeah, it's huge. It's got 579 gigs available. So it's 595 after formatting. And I've used 16 gigs so far. Hello, BitGravity. Where do you put your stuff? Guess I can search for it. Huh. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it just launches. I should read I'll have to read the manual. All right, I'm going to shut down. We're done. Thank you for letting me unbox in front of you. I feel naked now.
I feel dirty.
Cool. Very fast. Very nice. I hope someday we'll be able to use all the power of this thing. One of the things we were thinking, the truth is a Mac Mini would probably be enough to run the streaming software we're going to run. In fact, I think that's all Revision 3 has used in the past. However,
they use 5 Mac Minis.
I asked Brian Shelley that. He said no. He was there at the taping. He said they were not using Mac Minis.
Well, that was the original setup that was...
Right, but BitGravity brought their own hardware. But they said you could do it on a Mini. But if you want headroom and if you want to do other things, you need more power. And one of the things I was thinking I would love to do is maybe rotoscope Martin and Sarah before we send it out in real time so that they look like cartoon characters. I think that'd be really cool if you could flip a switch. And, CamTwist does some stuff sort of like that. But I have to ask Alex, I bet you with this much horsepower, we could run a real-time rotoscoping application and send it out.
I want to do a 3D show just for fun sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, we're done. This is powered down.